Yes, people, welcome to another edition of the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show on Sarcasm City TV, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm joined by all my fellow co-hosts, JK, Lindrix, and Beans. JK, what you telling me? You good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Excellent, excellent. Lindrix, what you telling me?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Large and Beans also. What's going on? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, bro. You saying?
Yeah. Man's blessed. Man's blessed.
JK, you good?
Yes, sir.
Hendrix, you good?
Yeah, man, all good. JK, what you saying, bro?
I'm good. Good
Well,
one, man.
Yeah, man.
well, flawless and that.
Out here, you know what I'm saying? We stay working. This is the quartet you are now going to see on the show, people. This is the four hosts for the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show. So this is the four in it. This is the barbershop quartet we put together. You get what I'm saying? You feel me?
Come
So
on.
get me. Come on. So if you're watching this live right now on my Twitter or my Periscope, get over to the YouTube. Go over to Sarcasm. Go to YouTube. Type in Sarcasm City. Hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, do the exact same things. Like I said, we just went over 1.5k subs yesterday or a couple of days ago, whenever it was. All the days blur into one in it, but we went over 1.5k subs a few days ago, and now it's rolled to 2,000 in it. I didn't think I'd be saying that towards the end of the year when it rolled to 2,000. Big up everybody supporting, but of course this is the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show, and we are here to recap AJ versus PULEV. Very entertaining fight. You know what I'm saying? Being spoke on it in the preview that we did about him wanting AJ to make a statement and AJ needing to make a statement, and I believe he did that. Like it's one of the most entertaining AJ fights I've seen in a long time, actually. You know what I'm saying? And normally he's in entertaining fights, so that goes to show how much I personally myself enjoyed it. But we'll start with you, Beans. What was your thoughts on the bout?
Yeah, it was good. Good, good performance. He looked like he was enjoying himself. He was having fun in there. Controlled it. Looked like he could have finished the fight at any time, but he was just being patient. Picked his shots well. Still a few things that he needs to work on. I think he needs to get a better head movement. He avoided the shots, but he does that more from like stepping back. Got to be able to move side to side with your head as well. But other than that, yeah, light work.
Okay.
Light work.
Lindrix, we'll go to you. What's your thoughts on the fight and etc.? Give us your you're putting out feelers, and everyone in the comments, we will get to the comments. You know what I mean? After JK said what he said, we'll get to the comments. We'll go on, Lindrix.
Yeah, man. Well, it went the way I said it was gonna go, innit?
Hella energetic, man. Innit? Hella energetic.
Yeah, man. It was as expected for me, bro. Like I said it in the preview. Like I just really felt like Joshua was gonna knock him out. I really felt like he was gonna knock him out. I knew it'd be in the later stages of the fight, but I knew it was going to happen at some point. I think he showed great skill. I think he, like Bean said, he could have ended the fight at any point. He looked to me like he had him at the end of that third round, but because he didn't knock him out in that third round, he took his time again. He was very professional about it. Decided to, rush in. And then he played with him. It looked like he played with him for me. Like, because PULEV was saying before the fight, oh, well, I'm a better boxer than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And I felt like Joshua just took time to prove a point. You're not a better boxer than me, bro. I think he did great.
All right, large. And same to you, JK. What was your thoughts on it?
Just like he said, I think the head movement, he does need to work on that, because if he, the top guys, the Fury and Wilder, they're taller. You won't be able to just get away from their reach just by stepping back. Same height, or there might be even a little bit taller, longer reach. So yeah. Other than that, though, he did what I thought he was gonna do. Made a statement.
Made a statement, yeah, and that's one thing I took from it, because I was thinking what Beans had said, like I said in the preview, and I was like, yeah, he has made a statement here. Shout out to Omar Mali. He says, "My bros, salute to Omar Mali each and every time." Yeah, Gabriel T says, let's go with a fire emoji. Hey, James Bond, man, allow my little bro ads, man. I know you get me, he can be a headache, but you understand that's what little brothers do. You know what I'm saying? He's Ollie in, but he's young, man. He's only 15. Allow him. You know what I'm saying? Bits and Bobs says, looking forward to this. Salutes to Bits and Bobs. If we get enough people watching, we will open up the phone lines, actually. If we do get enough people watching and there's enough interest. Big up Flawless. There's Conrad Tyson versus AJ. Obviously, after we've discussed this fight, we will be discussing that. Shout out Ryan, because he's here each and every time. Big up the panel. James Bond, he says 4 beastly brothers now. Yo, allow ads, man. That's people's them, and it can't be slandering ads, man. Allow him. If you don't like him, just allow him in it. Gabriel T says smash a like. Yes, get the likes up now in it. Mods, get everyone liking it. Let me know in the comments how we're gonna keep track of the likes. So let me know from now what the likes are running. We're gonna keep pushing them up. I think Gabriel T says I think it's too early for AJ to fight Fury. I think that's kind of a big step. Of course, we'll discuss that. Musavir says you good. Yes, I'm blessed. Everybody on the panel is good. Salute to everybody who's locked in. We really appreciate it. Eddie Otu says AJ smashed PULEV, then no surprise. Let's get Fury versus AJ on before Fury goes back to the cocaine. Wow. All right, you saying everything first comment, Eddie, yeah? All right, half 12 in that. I don't know if you're based in England, but all right, you know what I'm saying? You just straight to it. But yeah, my thoughts on it is his movement, AJ's movement, Joshua's movement impressed me a lot. I'm not saying he couldn't move. I'm just saying that's the best I personally seen him move, because the commentators were going on about, is this him versus Ruiz the second time? And I'm like, yeah, it is. And I said that in the preview. That's the way I want to see him go. Not only because it's the style I prefer from a selfish point of view. I think that's the toughest version of him to beat. And the shot that he originally caught PULEV with, that started the original knockdown, PULEV threw a jab, I think, and he dodged it with head movement and then caught him, bang, straight down the pipe. And I'm like, that's Joshua to me at his very best. Like, that move right there sums him up. And then even though he didn't stop him after we dropped him a couple times and PULEV turned his back, etc., he's shown that he learned from the Ruiz fight, like he was calculated going in again. Because one of the commentators was talking about he needs to finish it now. And it's kind of like, that's what happened in the Ruiz fight. Like, he's winning at this point. All the pressure is on PULEV. You get what I'm saying in that? He doesn't need to rush in. Eventually, he's going to catch him again. And he caught him a few rounds later and stopped him. So that's what I'm saying in that. It's kind of like, I was very impressed with it. And it's made me even more excited to see the Fury fight, because I think we're going to get the best version of Fury and we're going to get the best version of Joshua. And I think that's what we need. And hopefully we get at least 2 of them. I'd like a trilogy, but hey, if we get a rematch, I'm with it if we get that twice in 2021. What I want to touch on, though, is what's you lot's thoughts on PULEV turning his back? Because that's very amateurish from someone.
It's also smart.
Go on.
It's also smart at the same time, because some referees just will, they just might let it slide, and that one did.
I get you.
Just like how some fighters will spit out the mouthpiece. You know, it depends on what ref you got in there. So I've never seen that ref.
Yeah, I didn't think the ref was good. Man was like,
I've never seen that ref. He was annoying. He was annoying.
I feel like all the big refs should be in all the big fights, just like how you have the best referees in the NFL. They take all the best referees and put them in the Super Bowl. I feel like all the top refs should be doing all the big fights.
Yeah, that makes sense.
True, man.
The amount of rabbit punches that
the
referee missed from PULEV was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And I felt like he was doing that because he was, because Ruiz caught him in the back of the head. So he was like, what if I can rabbit punch him and, get him off?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah, because he punched him after the bell as well. That's what I like, that Joshua has that. Not that he wasn't there. He has that nastiness, like when PULEV punched him after the bell. He punched him back. And then even his interview afterwards, he was like, I don't even want to talk. He's like, I'm actioning it. This is boxing, like, let's fight type of thing. I'm like, I like that energy from you. Like, that's the type of energy you need, especially when you're in the business of getting pushed in the face. You definitely need that type of energy. And it's great to see. Like I said, maybe the Ruiz, the first one, was the first loss was meant to happen to make him better. I don't think we might not get this version of him without that. You know what I'm saying? And it's good that it happened to against a Ruiz and not a Fury or a Dillian White or Wilder or someone else like that. Someone you can go again. And he literally went. I rate him so highly after that. He literally went back to the drawing board and went again. He set up again. He's like, all right, this is what went wrong. He didn't make no excuses. He didn't blame the ref. He didn't blame that it was in the US. He just went back to the drawing board and won the second time, where you look at Wilder, who's still now making excuses for the Fury fight, rather than just saying, I got beat by the better man, and the draws a line in the sand. This guy making all the excuses in the world and still making excuses. You know what I'm saying? My water was tainted. Why would your trainer taint your water? Your trainer that makes money off you tainted your water. And then if your water was tainted, you take drugs tests after the bout, so it would come back as positive. And it's like, yeah, it makes no type of sense. Shout out 0161 Val says, Flawless and Rants got me excited about this fight tonight. Didn't waste my time, thank God. Last time I watched a fight was during Money May times at 4 a.m. Well, that's regular, isn't it? You get me? It's like if a fighter I like fighting over stateside, I'll stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning to watch it. Yeah, I dispense Garcia fight. Therefore, shout out Eddie. He says, yeah, in the UK, Flawless, big up to diplomacy on every podcast you are on. Salute, man. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, shout out Velt, because Velt's Bulgarian, people. You don't know. I'm just glad I didn't chat shit on the stream last night. He did message me about it. Because he was like, obviously, he's back in PULEV. He's back in PULEV because he's his countryman. But he's like, he's got no chance. But I'm not going to chat shit. Ryan also says, Joshua needed that Ruiz defeat. Looks like he's learned from his mistakes. Okay, so yes, Why Not Sentiment says hit the like button. Hit the like button as well, people. Does this performance now change people's opinions on, and not just your own included, and also other people's? Does it just change anyone? Do you think it changed anyone else's opinion on how the AJ Fury fight goes after that kind of performance? Because I think that's definitely one of his better wins.
It's one of his better wins, but it's still like, still
JK about to shit all on him.
No, I'm not trying to shit on him. It's just like, okay, what if Fury just, beat on somebody that was older? He did look good, but it's like, I want to see him do that against, a top guy. And we ain't gonna see that until it's Fury or Wilder or something like that. I want to see him do that shit against the top guy.
Okay. See, this is where I get confused, because people keep saying this stuff about Joshua, but Joshua's fought more top guys than Fury has, and we're talking about Fury as if he's the greatest thing.
I mean, no, it's not me.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's like I really don't get it. For me, I wanted to go back real quickly, and then I'm going to get back onto that point. I think if you want to beat Joshua, don't piss him off. Be his friend. If you're nice to him and you're friendly with him, you might beat him. If you piss him off, you're going to get knocked out. Happens every time. Every time he gets pissed off with someone, he knocks him out.
Okay, well, you fought before this. Obviously, you had picked AJ to beat Fury. Does this reinforce you and give you more confidence after seeing that performance going into that bout?
It makes me feel like if Fury does his usual Fury shit and tries to piss off Joshua, Fury runs the risk of getting himself knocked out. Because Joshua works well when he's aggressive. He's naturally aggressive. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's cool, calm, collected, but he's naturally an aggressive fighter. Like, he enjoys fighting. You can see it in his face. He doesn't mind getting hit, and he likes hitting people. Like, if you piss him off, if you piss a man like that off, and he's in control of that fire, that's a dangerous thing. That's dangerous.
Okay, and same to you, Beans. Does that, because again, you're like Lindrix, you think AJ beats Fury. Does that performance there give you more encouragement and reinforce what you already think, or does it not really make a difference to you? I'm asking personally.
Nah, I don't think it makes a difference to me, because PULEV's not on the same level as Fury anyway. Totally different styles. There's nothing that PULEV brought to the fight that you could think like you could match up with or talent with Fury stylistically. So And for me personally, I'd still like to see Joshua have at least one more fight, and Fury have one more fight. But I know the pressure of the whole, like, especially like on social media for the Fury fight. So that's the only fight that's going to happen next. With, you know what I'm saying? So, but I would like them both to fight at least one more time before they and then fight each other.
Yeah, you're trying to see them in both in tip-top shape before they. I understand that. I get that. I want to see it next, but your point,
man, we've never seen Joshua fight anybody with any movement like Fury. That's why I'm just questioning, like, can he box the same way with somebody that's taller with more reach?
Yeah,
and
that's
that
what
can
I want
box
to see
just as good with better movement than you.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
I think I want to see him fight someone tall. You know what I mean, taller than him.
Because he's 6'6" and Fury's 6'9".
Yeah, Fury's what 6'9".
Yeah. Is him, Wilder, and Joshua the 3 tallest heavyweights?
Yeah.
Adi?
Yeah. Joshua's 6'6", Wilder 6'7", and Fury 6'9".
All right, because I know
depends where you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm saying that because I know there's big heavyweights out there. That's what I'm saying. I know there's big units out there.
Marius Waku fought tonight. He's 6'9".
See that but in terms of the top heavyweights, it's those three. But the reason why I picked Fury to win the Joshua fight is for all the things that JK just named there in terms of how do you, when you give up the physical advantages, what can you then do? Because Fury has all the physical advantages in terms of, I believe he has the longer reach. He's the taller guy also. So it's like, how do you box and move on someone with longer arms than yours and he's taller than you? That's going to be the interesting thing. And I think that's very difficult to navigate.
That's what makes it such a great fight, man. It's just
so many variables.
They got it's just so much in that fight right there.
If he can get his if he can work on his head movement, that'll be the key to beating Fury.
You reckon he can work on his head movement enough to beat him though in between? Say they fight, I don't know, summertime. So let's say July. Do you reckon that's enough time for Joshua to be able to move his head and learn that skill?
The way how he's dedicated to the game, and for me personally, I don't understand how the majority of boxers don't have head movement, because it's a key thing, like in the sport. But there's not many people that do it. So
it's like footballers with a bad first touch, but that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother show. You know what I'm saying? That's what came in my mind. I get what you're saying. Like how are you a boxer with bad head movement? To me, that just doesn't go hand in hand.
It makes zero sense.
Like that's fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basic boxing 101. Move your head in it, or your opponent's gonna move it for you in it, as Teddy Hatler says. Like,
Can I ask you a question?
Chat to me, fam.
Apart from Klitschko and Wilder, who would Fury actually beat as a top guy?
Here's the thing with that. The reason why I personally never look into resumes, because it has no bearing on the bout whatsoever. To me, it has no bearing on the bout whatsoever. It has bearing on who we call the best fighters in the world. You have to beat. Okay, all right, I killed it dead. All right, I'm gonna kill it. All right, I'm gonna kill it. All right, I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna kill this dead. If Joshua had the 3 wins that Fury had in terms of the Klitschko fight at the time and the 2 Wilder fights at the time, we'd be calling him the greatest British boxer of all time. And I've said this on Twitter before, but I didn't get into it fully. But I get into it fully now. If Joshua had those 3 wins, we would be calling him the greatest British boxer of all time. But because it's Tyson Fury and he's not the media favorite and he's not the fan favorite, that's why it's not being spoke about. Let's talk about the Klitschko fight. Yes, not only did he go to Klitschko's backyard to fight him, this is a Klitschko that is 10 years undefeated. 10 years undefeated, beating everybody. And you went to his backyard and beat him comfortably. That's one. Then you go and then turn around and fight Wilder, who, of our generation, and people don't get this mistake out, is the biggest knockout artist of our generation, because Tyson is before me. I'm talking for me personally. Saying Tyson in his prime is in the 90s. I was born 1990, so I don't remember prime Mike Tyson. When he fought Lennox Lewis, which was 2003, he wasn't even in his prime then. So prime Mike Tyson is 90s and 80s. You get me? Beans is slightly older than me, so he'll be able to remember Mike Tyson. But I'm saying, my generation.
And you know what? It's like it's not that many. It's not that many top heavyweights And
Yes, that's another
today,
thing.
for everybody to have a great resume,
that's what, and that's another thing.
It's only about 3 or 4 top heavyweights, and they all just got to fight each other. It's not that many to where they
it's hard to legitimize
it for one person.
It's only getting like that now.
Crazy resume.
It's only getting like that now. So onto the Wilder thing. So you're facing the biggest punching heavyweight of your generation, and you're coming off a 2-year break. You ballooned up to 400 pounds, etc., etc. You go to his backyard and outbox him and win the fight. But they stuff you, they teeth you. Everyone knows. I'm a Wilder fan, and I tell you, Fury won the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's only diehard Wilder fans that will tell you he won that fight. He outboxed him. You know what I'm saying? Coming off that. Then what he does, he's like, all right, I'm going to rematch you. And I'm thinking, all right, rematch him, do the same thing again. He beat him in a whole nother style. He changed his whole. He's like, nah, I'm going to put it on you, and I'm going to beat you at your own game. This guy dropped him however many times. And then
like,
do you know what I realized? Yeah, do you know what I realized?
One sec, let me go real
quick. Sorry, Beans. Let me say this real quick. Branding is fucking everything, bro.
Yes.
Branding is everything. Do you know why? Because Tyson Fury has had 2 big fights, two big opponents, and got all of you convinced that he's the best fighter in the world. Sorry, Beans, go ahead, bro.
Not me.
He's not the best fighter in the world. He's the best heavyweight in the world.
If somebody tells you enough that they're the best fighter in the world, you believe them.
Here's the thing. Here's my counter-rap to that. Fury shut me up 3 times. So like at the moment in time, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna believe whatever you say. When he fought Klitschko the first time, he's like, I'm gonna beat Klitschko. I'm like, you're not gonna beat Klitschko. I had Klitschko winning that fight. He went away and beat Klitschko. Then all the stuff happened in between that fight, him retiring, him ballooning up, didn't think he was going to get back into boxing. He's like, I'm going to go. He fought 2 fights before Wilder, if I remember correctly, but like 2 like lower level guys. He's like, all right, I'm going to fight Wilder. And whoever else it is, or whoever he fought. Then he's like, I'm going to fight Wilder. I picked Wilder to win that fight. I'm like, yeah. Wilder's going to win this fight because of Fury's layoff off. He then beats Wilder. Like everyone, even though it was called a draw, everyone knows he beats Wilder. Then the third time he's going into the. Say that again.
Wilder can't
box. It doesn't matter if you can't box if you have his power and that. You get what I'm saying? And that Wilder. No. Just because you don't like Wilder. Just because you don't like Wilder doesn't mean it can win like that. You're not a fan of Wilder and that. You know what I'm saying? Because you think Joshua survives Wilder. You think Joshua survives Wilder. You think Joshua? Wait. You think Joshua? If Wilder catches Joshua and the chin is lights out, but you're telling me that Joshua can withstand him. Joshua does not survive Wilder. Joshua does not survive Wilder. You think he does, innit? You think he does? This is what I'm talking about. You think Joshua survives Wilder? That's mad. Only Joshua fans think that. How do you think that in on God's green earth? How does Joshua survive Wilder?
I'll tell you exactly how. I'll tell you exactly how.
Go on.
Answer.
But you might be Joshua fans. But go on, he's Joshua fans. You know what I'm saying?
Tonight, and I'm not having it. Right, okay.
Let's go in it. You started it, innit? You know what I'm saying? You pushed me first. You know what I'm saying?
It was self-prepared.
This guy pushed me first, you know. But go on.
Okay, because we've gone well off the subject. But okay, 1. I definitely feel like Joshua can outbox Wilder because Wilder can't box. Yeah,
that's wild to see that. The reason why I'm going to cut you off there is, yes, I agree. Any top level heavyweight, any heavyweight you pick in the top 10 can outbox Wilder. I've seen Ortiz they fought twice for however many rounds both them fights went.
Right.
However many rounds both them fights.
There's a reason behind that, though.
Yeah, Ortiz outboxed him. I think any heavyweight, you man could name anyone in the top 10. I think Dillian White does it. I think Povetkin could do it. I think PULEV could do it. I think Ruiz could do it. I think any top 10 heavyweight,
But they can't out punch
you
him.
Can't like him. You know what I'm saying? Fury's the only guy that can do that, and that's what's got everyone. Because Fury's done it. Now everyone thinks Wilder can do it.
Bro.
Do you think Joshua survives Wilder? Wait. You man telling me Joshua survives Wilder?
Let me say something. Because I've been trying to get this out for a minute.
Yeah, go on.
So, I said it before. Branding is everything. Fury's got everyone convinced that he's the greatest boxer in the world because he told you he is. He's had 1 big win against Klitschko, But bearing in mind, Klitschko was what, 40 still?
Okay, all right. So counteracting that, Joshua's best. No. Counteracting that, Joshua's best wins Klitschko.
You what?
No, that's his best name. That's his biggest name. That's not his best win. That's his biggest name.
Biggest name.
There's a difference.
Okay,
and we can't say, you know, we can't call
so,
him 40 and then praise Joshua for beating a 40-year-old
PULEV.
But I'm not saying.
Yeah, that's not the way to defend it.
Okay, no. So yeah, this is my whole point. Is so what stellar names are on Joshua's resumes? I personally don't care about resumes. I don't think any. Let me put this out there. I don't think any heavyweights resume is that good. Including Fury. I don't look at resumes.
That's because there's only been like the last 4 or 5 years of heavyweights coming through. Before that, there wasn't any. But over the next 3 or 4 years, that's how we'll see who is actually the best, because there's no way they're not going to fight each other, because there's nobody else to fight. So it's either make money or don't make money and just sit on your ass and just let everybody else.
I'm just saying, the guy that goes around to each opponent and wins the belt off each opponent and hits every champion and beats them, that's the guy to me that is supposed to be pound for and doesn't get beat. Oh, he gets beat. Oh, okay, he's taken one loss, but that to me is the guy that is the pound for pound best.
Right. Let me just have my say as well now. Yeah.
Wait, pound for pound best.
No, let me finish.
You have him your pound for pound best. There, I see that. Yeah, me.
Pound for pound best. I'm
saying. It was your pound for pound best. Side note.
My pound for pound best.
Yeah. In the world right now,
Crawford is pound for pound best.
I was just seeing how far he was going to go with his Joshua thing, but go on, continue in it. Go on.
Are you all right?
I'm having the time of my life over it. This is why I do this shit for. Yeah, I'll tell you.
All right, I remember it. I'm going to remember it. So I've lost my point now. So I feel like the guy that belts from everyone, for me, it should be the best and holds most of the belts, should be seen as the best heavyweight in the world, right? Okay. That's for me how it should be seen, right? Mm-hmm. You've got Wilder, who's held onto the belt by mainly hand-picking opponents that are nowhere near good enough to beat him, racked up this whole resume of wins by knockout that are against fighters that ain't really all that.
All right, I'm not going to interrupt you. I got to get into this. Okay, I'm just going to ask you what the questions. I'm not even going to. Who has Wilder not fought? Who you think beats him? I'm not even going to debate it or not. I just want to know who beats him. So you think Fury's already beat him? You think Joshua beats him? Who else beats him?
Who you asking? Hendricks.
I'm asking Hendricks. Yeah. Hendricks.
I don't think there's going to be
him. I think Usyk could beat him.
So you think Usyk beating that's 3? Okay, Usyk's only just moved up, so that doesn't count in there because you said he's handpicking opponents. So I want to know who he was ducking at this moment in time. Who was he ducking during his reign? Who was around that was he ducked?
He 100% ducked Dillian White, 100%. And nobody can convince me he didn't duck him.
So you both think Dillian White beats him, yeah? So you both think Dillian White beats him, yeah?
No, I'm not saying whether he does or he doesn't. I'm saying he ducked Dillian White. You asked that specific question.
Okay, so the question:
who did he duck? And he ducked Dillian White. Okay, so he ducked Anthony Joshua because he just said it in his last one of his excuses. He said, "Yeah." So there's 2.
So there's 2. Who else?
Nobody.
No. That's the whole point.
Who else is there? Who is there? Who else?
No. I don't think we're gonna get a top heavyweight.
Who else is there?
That's no. Beans,
take out Joshua, take out White, take out Usyk. After that, who's left?
Beans, you missing my point. No, the reason why I asked that is because Lindrick said verbatim he's racked up a whole heap of wins, handpicking opponents.
But
so the
reason some of Brazil was handpicked.
No. Go on.
Wilder, I played arena football with Deontay Wilder's brother. This is when Wilder was about 20 something and old. Nobody wanted to fight him. He tried to fight Klitschko, tried to fight him. No top heavyweights wanted to fight him. I've had like conversations with him and I've like seen text messages. I've like seen like some real shit. Like nobody wanted to fight him when he was coming up. So you have to take, you know, what they're giving you. Nobody wanted to fight him because he was knocking every person, you know, clean the fuck out. And this is when he's like 20 something and up. But I don't think we're gonna get a top hit until Fury fights Joshua and Joshua fights Wilder until they all fight each other. And I don't think Wilder's ducking anybody. I think if anything, Wilder wanted the smoke with everybody more than anyone, because Wilder went to the zone to try to come up with the Joshua fight, and he clearly fought Ruiz twice when he was Joshua's mandatory, Fury's mandatory. They didn't want no purchase of that dude, and Joshua, I mean, Wilder fought him twice. Those two dudes twice. That says something. How do you think Joshua's record is if he fights King Kong Ortiz and Fury twice each? What do you think his, you know? Do you think he wins those 4 if he fights them 2 times?
All right, I'll break that down easy. So the Wilder and Ortiz, yeah, he was getting beaten both of them fights. The only reason why he won them fights is because Ortiz stopped doing what you the easiest thing for you to do is stay in the center line against Wilder, because that's all he's good at doing. Obviously, it's a great trick in it that he's got it up his sleeve. But other than that, if you push of course, I'm not disputing that. But if you push him back exactly like Fury did, as soon as Fury, because that's what he done in the first fight in the last round when he got knocked out and they got up when he rose from the dead like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He put it on Wilder, so that was his blueprint for the next fight.
No, I'm not talking about like the power. I'm saying like him like wanting to fight people. He gave Fury a chance when nobody wanted to fight him. He fought
because Ortiz. He thought Fury was going to be an easy talk. That's why
he fought Ortiz when Joshua and Fury didn't want to fight him. He fought Ortiz when Ortiz was Joshua's mandatory. I'm saying he fought the guys that nobody wanted to fight and gave them a chance. And then he even tried to make the fight happen with Joshua. He was like,
he didn't make it. No, he said he turned Joshua fight down. He's openly admitted that.
Yeah, he openly admitted.
No, Joshua bit. I mean, Joshua. Okay, what did Joshua say? If you can give me 50 million, what did he say? If you can give me 50 million for the fight, straight up, I'll take that deal. And they came up with
so they asked him. So they said send the contract, and they didn't send the contract.
Yeah, that's the whole like. Let's not get into Joshua Wilder.
Yeah.
That's no different.
But I just feel like Wilder. I feel like Wilder he went at the fights more than they did. Like he wanted the fights.
Back to the point. The reason why I asked about who Wilder's ducking, because Lindrick said Wilder was handpicking opponents. So I'm saying
he has handpicked opponents.
No. So that's my point. Is like who was he supposed to fight at them times that he wasn't? We've named 3 people.
And we've gave you. Right, that's how many more people do you want?
No. We've named 2 people. We named Joshua and we named White. So there was no one. There was nobody else.
But who else is there? Though? That's what I'm saying.
That's my whole point. No. Wait one second. That's my whole point in terms of this resume argument is that because there's no one you can have on your There's apart from each other, apart from Joshua.
Okay, fair enough. In terms of
those 3, if you don't have one of those 3 on your resume. Your resume is not good. I already said it earlier on in this video. I don't think anyone's resume is great. I've said this. I don't think
their resumes aren't.
That's only in terms of names. That's only in terms of like the names of like they're not popular guys to box now. Hold on, let me finish. To boxing purists that know like boxing to the elite level, you can't tell me that the guys that Joshua are fighting are just some average guys. They're elite fighters.
Okay, I wouldn't say that. No, see, my definition of elite is different. I wouldn't call who's Joshua fought. The only person I think he's fought who's genuinely elite is Klitschko. That's it.
I think King Kong beats anybody that Joshua fought.
So Ruiz ain't got a chance of beating any of the top heavyweights. Of course he has.
No, let me rephrase this. For Ruiz to beat any of the top heavyweights, I think like the Joshua fight, they have to have an off night. I don't think if they have an off night, he touches. I will throw Klitschko in the mix to make it 4. I don't think he beats a Klitschko who's elite. Wilder.
How many fights have you seen of Ruiz? 2 fights, 3 fights.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 fights. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So
I've only
that's
seen
that.
two fights, so I'm judging it off watching the second fight
Off his resume. Off his resume.
Off his resume. So it's kind of like, yeah, if you're elite, you will rise to the top. I only watched Terrence Crawford 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, yeah, you're an elite fighter. You can see you have an elite.
None of them have a great resume, man.
You can watch Errol Spence and be like, you're an elite talent. You can tell when
it's okay. Even if you don't believe in the resumes in terms of it, we're just trying to say that Joshua has got a better resume than Fury, and Fury's been around for a lot longer. 4 years longer.
And also, sorry, the guy that's got 1 belt, or sorry, at the time didn't have any belts, is supposedly better than the guy that's got 4 belts, that's gone around and picked off every champion and got 4 belts. But we're going to sit here and go, oh,
okay, but then no, that context. Who's he beat for the belts? None of them. You man are calling
who did he beat for the belts?
Ruiz is not elite. Joseph Parker is not an elite fighter. I'm sorry, these men are not elite talents. That's what I'll say. That's
Wilder's not elite. Wilder's not elite.
I don't think Wilder's elite. I don't think Joshua is elite.
So who's elite?
Fury's the only one I think elite.
You're putting Wilder in the conversation with people that consider elite.
Say that again.
You're putting Wilder in a conversation of people that we consider elite, because we're saying Fury, Joshua, Wilder are the elite. Who else are they?
Okay, so let me break this down. When I'm mentioning them, I'm talking about them 3 just being the top 3 in the division. But in terms of elite, knowing it, my level of elite is where I put you on my top. You be in contention for my top 3 pound for pound list or top 5. Wilder's not getting in there. I've never put Wilder in it. Joshua's not getting in there. Fury, I would consider. I think Fury's the only elite heavyweight right now.
You think Joshua's elite heavyweight?
I don't think he's elite in terms of talent. No, I don't think he's elite.
That's mad.
That's wild.
Don't make no.
We're gonna make sure we clip this, because when Fury and AJ happens and Fury washes him, you might not see what I'm talking about. When Fury wins the fight, you'll see him.
No. That's just your opinion, though. That's just your opinion. That's just your opinion.
That is my opinion. I'm giving that. To me, I've said this before and I say this again. This is.
And what is it based on?
No, this is the heavyweight. Not the weight.
Exactly. That's the heavyweight division. Exactly that.
Let me go. No. I wasn't even gonna go there. What I was gonna say is this is the heavyweight version of the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, where people were going on like these men are equal and they're not. I didn't think
Mayweather. It's totally different. Totally different.
No, not in terms of skills. I'm talking about people. I'm not saying you know this as well as I do. People were acting before the Mayweather Pacquiao fight like them man are on the same level. That's correct. And then to me,
like where you look at it from, no, this is what I'm saying. No boxing purists gave Pacquiao a real chance. Regardless of it.
Teddy Atlas.
Of course,
that's because they're in his corner, innit? Like, and they don't like Mayweather. But if you're just being neutral,
does he hate him? Does he not like
him? If you're a neutral guy, you don't really want to pick no sides. Like, Mayweather's one of my favorite guys of all time. But if I genuinely thought he was going to get beat off someone, I would say that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think
not many. It's only like how do people hype it up in it? That's what it is, and that's what people do with Fury. Don't get it twisted. Joshua's had the same throughout his career as well. It's just the hype. But the thing is, Fury's a great talker. So
I look at his performance. He's had 3 elite.
I hear what you're saying. But this is what I'm saying. You said before that he was saying he's going to do this. He's going to do this. Okay, yes, he went to it's not even Klitschko's backyard. This is what people need to remember. Klitschko's from Ukraine. He just fought out of Germany, so that's not his technically. It's not his backyard.
That's where he fought.
So no one's got no.
No. So the same way Mayweather's not originally from Vegas. Vegas was
his fights in America, but he fights in America.
But it's still different. It's still not the. That's Klitschko's hometown, man. But that's even caveat. No, his hometown. That's his home turf in terms of his boxing. That's where you box all the time. That's where you're most.
Yeah, that's where he boxes. Yeah, so he beat Klitschko. He didn't beat him in a convincing fashion because Klitschko just didn't turn up. But you have to still give credit. You still have to give but you still give credit to Fury. I'm not taking nothing away from that.
Give him full credit for that. He beat him 10 years undefeated, and then Joshua comes back and beat
10 years undefeated in a division that was dead for 10 years. Who did Klitschko beat? Give me 3 top names.
Okay,
top names.
So you think
also
Wait. Hold up. Stop.
Three top names.
One sec.
Who was watching?
One sec. Let me go. Let me go. I'm gonna respond. Let me respond to that in a second. So you think if you don't put prime Klitschko in today's era, he's not a problem?
So who?
No, in the division, I'm asking. Is he not a problem?
But he's not in it. He's not in it. So it's pointless having that conversation. That's like saying, would Ali be a problem? Would Mike Tyson be a problem? That just it's pointless having that conversation because it's different eras, it's different generations. So we
just not gonna. We won't know who's the best until they all fight each other, man. It's just we just gotta wait. It's
just like, that's what I'm saying. So this is just opinions. But if you want, you want to go with opinions or facts. So it's where you want to go with it.
Let me say this as well, real quick.
I haven't heard. The thing is, I'm not taking facts. I'm just saying I've not heard no facts about Joshua. I'm just hearing opinions and taking them on board. But when
you ain't allow us to say anything.
No, I have let you go. What have I not let you say? I've let you go. You know what I'm saying? Like I've not heard no facts on Joshua and that. Man told me he's elite. Get me?
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying Fury's elite, but of what grounds? That's what I'm saying.
Performances you put in, I think they're 3 elite performances. I don't think you put in those 3 performances if you're not elite. I don't think you put those 3.
I'll give you a fact. Yeah, I'll give you a fact.
That's mad.
I'll give you a fact. Klitschko didn't turn up for Fury, and Fury went the distance with him. Okay. Right? An older yet better Klitschko really turned up for Joshua, and Joshua knocked him out. But we're gonna sit there and say that Fury is better than Joshua.
I don't base it off.
We just gotta see it, man. We just gotta see it.
We have to see it. One, but two.
I don't. Are we in agreement that Klitschko turned up when it came to Joshua? He really turned up when it came to Joshua.
What do you mean? Like,
but I think Tyson Fury's
Klitschko showed up for Joshua. He was like, "I'm ready to fight," and he went in there and he tried to take his head off.
I don't think Fury's
style it wouldn't allow Klitschko to turn up. He couldn't get nothing off.
That's not true.
I disagree. I agree.
I think Klitschko's a much too experienced fighter to be thrown off by.
I'll tell you why he lost that fight. He allowed Fury to get into his head. That's what happened in that fight. Because no one had ever challenged him to that level. Even in the build-up to that fight, in the 10 years he was unbeaten, apart from David Hay. That's the only person that tried to push and get under Klitschko's skin. But the problem was David Hay had a bad toe, apparently.
Wait, 1 second. So both of you, man, give more in the Fury beating Klitschko. It's more what Klitschko didn't do more than what Fury did.
Yeah,
am I getting right?
I'm not saying.
I'm asking.
I'm gonna answer.
I'm asking.
Yeah. I already stated that I'm not taking nothing away from Fury's performance in that fight. He did what he wanted to do. Not what he needed to do. He did what he wanted to do. That's how he chose to fight that way. It's not like he had to adapt or anything in the fight. Nothing like that. So he fought his fight. That's how he chose to fight. What I'm saying give me a performance prior to that Klitschko didn't do nothing. That's not just because Fury didn't allow him to. Fury didn't really do much. Fury didn't really do much in that fight. He didn't have to.
When you say Klitschko didn't do nothing in previous, what do you mean by that? I'm just asking for clarification.
In the previous however many fights I had up to the Fury fight, he dominated those.
Right.
Yeah, so, and he done it with ease because none of those guys were on that level. And that's a simple. He fought the best guys I can remember him fighting on that runner: David Hay and Chisora. Who else did he fight? There's no big names on his.
Shannon Briggs.
My memory's terrible. He bought people in that run.
He's just a puncher though. He's not a boxer.
What's his name?
Shannon Briggs is a social media.
You can't take away. You can't say somebody is not a. I mean, boxing and punching is in the sport of boxing. So just because somebody's a puncher, you can't say they're not a good fighter. Shannon Briggs.
Okay, Mike Tyson was a puncher, but Mike Tyson was a boxer as well.
Shannon Briggs has the most first-round knockouts in boxing history. So you can't just say he's not a boxer just because.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. But who did he knock out in those fights?
I mean, I don't know. You got to take what they give you. I mean, you're not, and when you fight everybody at the elite level, you're not gonna knock everybody out either. I mean, it's only so many few elite fighters. But see, that's the difference between now and then. Like back then, they all fought each other, so we knew who was the top dog. Right now, we don't know because they're not fighting each other. Well, Wilder fought Fury, so we got to see Wilder. I mean, we got to see Fury and Joshua.
I don't even think it's the fighters. I think it's
we promoters and things like that. We got to see them all fight before we know who the best is. Like right now, we know we have a clue of who the best welterweight is, but we won't know until Terrence Crawford and
I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. Right now,
Fury.
Say that again.
Do you think Joshua should fight Wilder before he fights Fury? Because Fury.
No, I don't think Wilder is going to let Fury and Joshua fight. He's not going to let that happen.
I hope he don't get in the way because I want to see.
He's not letting that happen.
Right, let Fury Adrian go. Let Fury Adrian go and then let AJ Wilder go.
But to be fair though, you got to look at it like this: Wilder gave Fury 2 chances when he didn't even have to. So why wouldn't you let that man get his get back?
I don't understand. That's whole contract because they said the contract is because I don't know exactly what's going on. I've heard they said it's which I've never heard in my entire life about.
I don't think Wilder's not going to let that fight happen. He's going to get his 3rd fight before they fight. That's the big.
To be fair, that's what Fury should do. But money talks. Do you know what I'm saying? I think right now Fury is the number. Don't get me wrong. I think Fury is the #1 heavyweight right now. I'm not saying Joshua is the #1. I'm saying when they fight, Joshua has all the tools to beat Fury. Nobody else.
What's crazy is they all got the tools to beat each other.
No.
The tools to beat each other.
Yeah, in terms of like yes, in the heavyweight division, it only takes 1 punch. We all know that. But what I'm saying in terms of their ability, there's not many other guys in the division other than having the 1 punch opportunity to like end the fight to actually beat Fury. That's what I'm saying. But AJ has the tools. He can box on the back foot. He can box on the front foot. He can box inside. He has got a decent chin. So he's got the power. He's got the timing. There's nothing he can't do to beat Fury. But if the same goes, Fury can beat Joshua. But I just think that.
So if Fury and Joshua happen, who do you guys got? Who do you got?
I'm going personally with. I'm just saying I'm going with AJ personally, but it wouldn't shock me if he got beat.
So wait. Okay, so does everybody got Cash App on here? Or Zelle?
No, wait, JK, before you jump on that.
They got a bet already going in.
Me and Legit already got a bet going on it. I just don't see it in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see this fight. To me, it's not even, what did I say? It's a clear victory for Fury. I see.
I got Fury too.
I say this again in it. To me, this is Mayweather Pacquiao heavyweight version in terms of, and when I say that, I'm talking about people saying it's close and calling it close and predicting it close. And then when it happens and it's not close, people are going to be shocked. And that's how I see it.
I think this is more.
It's a massive split. It's like the only out. It's like you get 50% AJ, you get 50% Fury. That's my point, because Mayweather Pacquiao was 50-50, and this fight is 50-50, even though the booking, I think, slightly edge Fury. And that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at both these men, and I'm like, I don't get it in it. I don't see it. I just personally don't see it. I haven't seen it from earlier, and even Joshua's impressive performance today.
I'm pretty sure Wilder and Fury are going to speak up soon after this, because that's what they usually do. When one big heavyweight has a fight, they all start speaking up on what they want to do next. So we'll probably know what's going to happen pretty soon.
Fury's already tweeted. Said he got Joshua out in 3 rounds.
No, I believe, if you try to, I believe him, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe him.
This is what I want to say to you before, Paulus, as well, yeah? You said that you started to believe in what he said. So you tell me what he said against Klitschko. I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said, I'm going to knock you out. That's exactly what he said. Did he knock him out? No. Did he nearly knock him out? No. Then he said he's going to knock Wilder out in the first fight. Did he knock him out? Did he nearly knock him out? No. Then he said he's going to do it in the 3rd fight. Yes, he did it, but he done it by a TKO. I'm not saying he wouldn't have knocked him out clean. He probably would have. Well, that's a 15-stone fighter who's a one-trick pony. This is not Anthony Joshua or another guy that's going to actually bring the fight and have the boxing ability at the same time. Like Wilder has no boxing ability. That's what I'm saying. There's many fighters, for me personally, that if you push Wilder onto the back foot and you keep him there, you will beat him. But if you stand off him and you allow him to throw them shots, that's when you're in trouble.
Are you brave enough to push him on his back foot, though? That's the thing.
That's one thing. And no, wait. Let me respond to it. Let me respond to you before you get to JK. Okay, before you get to wait. Before you get to it,
you're right.
Yo, 1 sec, Lindris. Before you get to it, when I say I started believing Fury, I didn't pay attention to what he said personally about I'm going to stop Klitschko. When he said I'm going to beat Klitschko, I did not believe. I thought you had. I thought, well, I hope he said he was going to knock him out. I didn't believe he had any chance of winning him, of beating him anyway, knocking him out on points, whatever. I thought he had zip. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm
asking you
why did I think Fury couldn't beat Klitschko?
Yeah.
Why did I think Fury couldn't? Because I didn't think Fury had the skills. I thought he was legit all mouth. I had seen nothing in his previous fights that made me go, yeah, you
I'm getting all these notifications right now from Fury, all this YouTube stuff. Fury says he'll knock out AJ in 3 rounds. I just keep
love that. I love that. He knows how to sell fight. So that's my point. So on the first fight, I had seen nothing from Fury that made me go, yo, beat Klitschko. Nothing at all. Like I hadn't seen remotely anything. So when he turns around and goes, yeah, I'd beat Klitschko, I'm like, nah, you wouldn't. You go there, you put in that performance, you beat him. I'm like, all right, impressive performance. You've gone up in my estimation. All that happened in between him retiring, quote unquote, retiring and gaining weight, etc., etc. All right, I'm gonna fight these two. I'm gonna fight Wilder. No, don't fight Wilder off the run up you've had. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna. That's not smart. And he did. No, I'm not even disputing that. I think he thought he was an easy touch too, but I'm still gonna give Fury the credit for taking it. So I'm like, all right, boom. They robbed you of that one, even though everyone knows you won. And then you turn around. I'm thinking in my head, okay, rematches when it's a boxer versus a brawler, always go the boxer's way. So I'm like, all right, Fury, you know what to do. Box him this time. Then he's like, all right, I'm gonna stop him. I'm like, that is not the way to go. You don't need to put yourself in harm's danger like that. Say that again.
The first fight. That's what he said in the first fight.
I thought again, I'm just saying, all right, so let me just make this clear. When he fought Wilder the first time, when he's saying, I'm going to beat Wilder,
he's going to knock him out. So you're just defending him every time. I'm telling you a fact.
Okay, that's a fact.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you my opinion on it. So let me just reiterate that. No. I'm not basing it off what Fury said. You're taking it directly. As soon as Fury says, I'm going to beat Wilder, I'm saying I didn't believe he was going to win the fight at all. I didn't think he was going to beat Wilder.
He says, check this. When he beat him in the second fight, and he said, I'm going to knock him out. That's acceptable because that's what he done. But when I'm saying he said he's going to do that with Klitschko and Wilder, you say no. He said he's going to beat him. No, he said I'm going to knock you out. That's what he said.
So you're taking it back. All right, okay. Cool.
So fair enough. You did what you said you was going to do in the third fight, but the 2 previous fights, you said you're going to knock them out. You said you was going to knock out Otto Wallin. You didn't knock him out. You could have been stopped in that fight because of the cut.
Okay,
you didn't even bums.
All right,
so you got a 2-3 year layoff. But my point is, you're defending him because you know in that bubble of you're on the Tyson Fury train, and I don't have no issue with that. What I'm saying is, if he says he's going to knock him out and you say you are believing in what he's saying, how can you believe in what he's saying when he's not following through what he says he's going to do?
All right, so here's the thing with this. So let me clear that. You're taking the direct quote. What I'm saying is, let me clear this up. No. Can I clear? I'm gonna respond to you and clear it up. I'm gonna respond to you and clear it up.
I'm just twisting it, bro.
I'm not twisting it. I'm not twisting it. I'm not, my God, I'm not twisting it. Let me respond to it because you said I didn't let you talk. Let me go here right now. When he's saying, I'm going to beat Klitschko, I'm not reading the direct quote. I'm saying I don't believe full stop that you are beating Klitschko in any way, shape, or form. So when I say I believe him now is because 3 times I've doubted this man. 3 times I didn't think he beat Klitschko the first time. I didn't think he beat Wilder the second time, and I didn't think he beat Wilder the third.
All the 3 things are based on your opinion. Exactly the same now as your opinion.
I've been proven wrong. Okay,
But
let
I'm
me-
going off
let me
facts.
go.
I go off facts, bro. I'm not. If we're having a debate and there's factual evidence to bring to the table, I'd rather bring the facts rather than having an opinion, because we've all got an opinion, whether we agree or disagree.
I'm saying no. I'm saying I was wrong on those 3 fights, particular the first 2 as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I was wrong, not with you. I'm not saying me and you. I'm saying I'm saying Fury has proved me wrong 3 times in terms of beating Klitschko, which I didn't think he could do, beating Wilder the second time, which I didn't think he could do, and then the third time beating Wilder in that fashion. I didn't think he could. I thought if he's going to beat Wilder, he's going to box and move. I didn't think he could beat Wilder being the aggressor. So 3 times he's done 3 impressive things to me. That's what I'm saying. So that's why
okay,
I'm like,
and I was the opposite of you in the Klitschko fight. There was nothing that I didn't believe from either fighter as to why Fury can't beat Klitschko. Same with Wilder, because I've watched Fury from the day he started. I was watching him on Channel 5 and all them way back then. So I've seen the ability he had. So then so now what I'm saying is, because I believed in him doesn't mean to say that, oh, I'm right or wrong in saying AJ can beat him or whatever. But what I'm saying is, you didn't believe in him when I did, and I'm just saying now, I don't believe he can beat. I'm not saying he can't beat AJ. I'm just saying I don't believe
he will beat AJ.
Yeah, he will, because I just think some of the things that his weaknesses that he's shown throughout his whole career, AJ has got the ability to attack those weaknesses, because he's never improved some of those weaknesses. Yes, he's great on his feet, but does he get hit? Yes. Does he get dropped? Yes. But the same applies for AJ, but I've never seen nothing from Fury that I think can completely trouble Joshua. That's all I'm saying.
okay,
when he's beat Wilder, that's like I'm saying, you can't do that with Joshua, because Joshua can box on the back foot. He's not a 15-stone fighter. He can put on extra weight and still be comfortable, especially against Fury, because he won't have to box on the back foot so much.
And that's the thing.
How he did against Klitschko. We've seen various different styles of AJ how to win fights more than Fury, in my opinion.
My bad. And that's the thing is, what impresses me about the 2 Wilder fights is I've seen you switch up your style twice and be successful with both of them. So I'm like, okay. I was watching Dan again. I've said this before. Like you, I was watching Fury earlier. So when the first time when he's saying I'm gonna beat Klitschko, I'm like, I've seen nothing from you that makes me go, you can beat Klitschko. So when you do it in that form, I'm like, all right, that's very impressive. The second time, the first fight against Wilder again, I'm like, you are not having, this is not the best run up to that fight. I don't think you should take this fight at this time right now. You should have had more fights, not coming off. You didn't really have 2 serious operators. You go, boom, you beat Wilder, even though they rob you with the draw. Then the third time you go into the rematch, it's like, all right, the best way I think personally for you to do this is to same again, box and move, jab, turn. We know Wilder's boxing skills ain't the best, and you're like, I mean, and then you beat him being the aggressor. So not only do you win a fight I think was there like that, you also win that fight in a fashion I did not expect you to win in. So like I said, 3 times you wowed me. 3 times you wowed me. Not you, obviously. I'm saying 3 times Fury's wowed me. So I'm like, you can box, you can box on the back foot, you can be the aggressor. We've seen you take
do that.
Go on,
that's
say
the
that
thing.
again.
He's always been able to do that. That's
I'm just saying, me personally, I didn't see that. I'm just saying personally, I didn't see him being able to do that at the top level, because it's very rare you see boxers at the top level be so good at both styles. Oh, sorry, Lindrix, go on. I just wanted to clear that up for anyone, Beans, and anyone else who didn't understand what I meant by when I say I've been wild 3 times by this guy. Because this guy's made me look daft 2 out of 3. Well, especially the first 2. You know what I'm saying? Go on, Lindrix.
I was just gonna say that, like, I feel like I feel sorry for AJ sometimes, because it feels like no matter what he does, he still doesn't get the credit he deserves. Like, he comes out as a young fighter, he's knocking people out. He's the world champion by the time of his 16th fight, is it? And then he keeps knocking everyone out. So then they start saying, well, oh, but can he go the distance though? I don't think he can go the distance. So then he goes the distance with Joseph Parker and beats him. And then they're like, oh, well, can he do this? So he goes ahead and does that. And then he gets beat by Ruiz, and then everyone goes, "Oh, he's got beat. His career's over. He should retire after that." He comes back, puts in a fantastic boxing display, a masterclass in boxing, and keeps this guy at bay the whole fight. Beats him easily, makes it look like it was nothing. And then they go, "Oh, well, it wasn't good enough because he didn't knock him out." And then it's like, "Oh, fucking hell, bruv. What's man got to do?" He then comes and beats PULEV and knocks him out. He's beaten everybody he's ever fought. He's beaten them.
Yeah, I got 2 points.
Ever fought. And we're still sitting here talking about Fury being the best and being to beat him.
I got 3 points to make to that. So one, every top boxer has those haters and detractors. Every top, if you look at any top boxer, they all have him. I don't give him that. 2, Joshua went up in my estimation after the Ruiz rematch, because I didn't know if he could, 1, mentally come back, and 2, box like that. Even though I picked him to win that, I'm like, okay, let's see if he can do that. He went, even though most people didn't like it. I personally, that's one of my favorite performances, coming back after everything that happened. I'm like, all right, that takes some balls. Thirdly, the reason why I talk about, that's not just, how do I put this now? I'm not just singling out Joshua not being good enough to beat Fury. I don't think any heavyweight beats Fury. That's not just him. You could insert name here. Take out Joshua, insert heavyweight name here of the top heavyweight.
So do you think in a third fight, do you think Wilder beats him?
No. I don't think so, no.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think how White beats him. I don't think, and he's
I don't think he was ever going to beat him anyway. I was just asking you two guys, and I don't think
because again, like I don't think White beats him, but I think all the rest of him, that's where all they're more variable matchups. They're, like I said, he's put on 3, to me, this is just me personally, he's put on 3 elite performances, and I'm like,
you know what?
You've got it.
The only person that you've just mentioned are those guys there that I disagree with, who I think can beat him, but it will be difficult. Is I do think Dillian White can beat him. Yeah. A lot of people sleep on Dillian White, and I get it to some extent, because he's just not that likable guy and whatever else. He's not in the spotlight like those two guys.
I'm a big fan of Dillian White in terms of liking him.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in terms of some people are. Yeah. But yeah, he's got all the tools to be, or at least, all right, then let me say, compete for a title. Like there's nothing that people can say that he can't do.
Yeah, don't get mistaken. How do I think of the best way to go.
He can punch. Mm-hmm. He's accurate with his. Do you know what I mean? He don't really waste a lot of shots, unless he tries to get into like a brawl. That's when he like kind of wastes some of his shots. But when he's calm and collected, he's improving all the time. He's got a decent chin, and he's game. Do you know what I'm saying? He actually wants to go in there and have a fight. He's willing to do that against anyone. So I rate him for that. Like, he doesn't actually duck nobody. And I think that's something that everybody needs to give him credit for, at least. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he wants to fight the best.
I rate that. One thing I do say about, how do I put this now? I'm thinking of the best way to describe it. Like I said, I think, because when I put a boxer in an elite category, I think for a boxer below that category or below that level, for them to beat that boxer has to have an off night. Could White beat Fury? Of course he could, because especially in the heavyweight division, does he have the attributes? He punches, yes, body punching, can jab, can box, etc., etc. I'm not saying that, but I think for a Joshua, a White, a Wilder, etc., any of the top heavyweights who I've seen enough of currently to beat Fury, it's more how you was talking about the Fury Klitschko fight, is more what Fury didn't do. To me, he has to have an off night. I put Terence Crawford and Errol Spence in that bracket in the welterweight division, apart from fighting each other. I think for any other welterweight to beat those two, apart from those two, any other heavyweight to beat one of them, they would have to have an off night. And I put Fury in that in the heavyweights. I think for Joshua to beat him, Usyk to beat Fury. So yeah, I think for Usyk to beat Fury, yes, Fury would have to have an off night. And I rate Usyk highly, but I think
that's why I asked you in it, because I know
yeah. It's just a size thing. I think, because if you slim down Fury and put him in cruiserweight, he's Usyk. But yeah, go on, continue. Go on. What was you gonna say, fam?
No, I was asking you, can he beat AJ?
Can he beat AJ? Usyk, yeah.
So why can he beat him? But can't beat Fury?
In a heavyweight, why can he beat who?
Why can he beat AJ and you say it so easily and so confident, but he can't beat Fury and you say that with the same confidence?
Because back to my elite thing, I think for a Usyk to beat a Fury would have to have an off night. I don't put AJ. I don't put the only elite heavyweight I think is out there currently that I've seen in the top 5, 6, wherever you want to put is Fury.
You got that idea based off 3 fights, and that's mad to me.
No, it's 3 fights. It's 3 fights. Yeah, it's 3 fights mainly. But then when I see him in other fights as well, I'm like, there isn't anything you can't do. There isn't nothing you can't do.
I mean, he just fights in the same style every time.
No, because the 2 Wilder fights, he fought 2 completely separate styles in both of those fights, and that's just 2 fights.
He fought completely different aggressions. He fought the same style.
He fought one on the back foot and he fought one on the front foot. No, one was on the back foot, one was on the front foot. He was the aggressor.
Joshua can do, which is the exact same thing what Joshua can do both.
I don't think he can do it as impressively though. That's the difference. I don't think he's as impressive doing it.
Style.
He fought where he's come unstuck apart from the Ruiz fight, where he's shown he can do both. There's no one else that's close to beating him. Nobody. Because
again, I'm trying to think in all AJ's fights. I picked him as the favorite in every fight he's been in. I think he's been the favorite in every fight he's been in.
He deserves to be. Like, he's done. What he's achieved.
Don't get him mistaken. Just because I rate Fury so highly doesn't mean I don't rate Joshua. I just don't think he beats Fury. That's all.
I rate Fury. I rate Fury as well.
And the thing, and then just to me, I'm basing it on 3 fights. It's like Joshua, he's fought. All right, okay. So take out Ruiz. He fought Klitschko, yeah, cold. He fought a young White. I've not seen he fought Parker, who, like, there's nothing on his resume that makes me go, yeah, that's elite. Yo, you saying I'm saying that based on 3 fights? What makes you so convinced on Joshua's elite? What fights of Joshua that? Who's he fought?
I've watched pretty much every.
All his fights are all top. All the guys he's fought are all top 10 fighters.
Since his 16th fight, everybody's fought has been a top 10.
What? So like Charles Martin and them, man.
But it doesn't matter whether he's good or not. They're all top 10 fighters.
But then that
not everyone. All right. So from Fury's 16th fight, they're not all top 10 opponents.
I agree with that. But my point is on that is the context matters in terms of what the division's saying. I've said this already. I don't rate.
They're in the same era. They're in the same era.
Yeah, they're in the same era, but I don't rate the division. There's no. I put it this way. I don't think there's anyone who's Joshua's beaten who Fury doesn't beat, and vice versa, apart from Wilder. That's it.
Well, we're all talking about Joe Joyce being in the mix yesterday.
No. So let's get to that. Let's make that point. Wait. Does anybody on Joshua? Wait. 1 sec. Does anyone on Joshua's resume beat Fury?
On AJ's resume?
Anybody on AJ's resume beat Fury?
Does anybody on Fury's resume beat Joshua?
No. Apart from Wilder. Apart from Wilder, that's the only one I can think of.
No one else on his resume. And he's got Chisora, and we all know AJ would smash Chisora.
So back to my point. So answer the one I've asked: who on Joshua's resume beats Fury?
Povetkin.
You think Povetkin beats Fury?
He could do. Do.
Would you put? No. Do you think he is though? I think the can word is there because I think it's heavyweight division. Yes, I've said that anyone can have an off night, injuries, etc. But no, I can. When I'm saying how both of you might have convinced Joshua beats Fury, I'm talking about that conviction. You put money on it. So you reckon White beat Fury?
I'll never put money on no one winning anything unless it's me.
I know you know a pound. You know what I'm saying? Innit? A pound. I know what you're saying.
I'll put money on Dillian White beating Fury.
Okay.
Dillian White has to beat Fury.
To make it clear, then. So say you was making a prediction. That's what I want to say to you, Bean. Say you was making a prediction on the fight. Who would you have winning? That's the best way to put it. Even if it was 51-49. So anyone on Josh's resume.
That's all right. That's the same both sides. I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think any of those guys on any of their resumes beats either one.
I agree with that. Apart from Wilder, I agree with that. I do agree.
I don't think he beats. I'm not saying he ain't got a chance to beat with a punch, but in terms of their styles against how they match up.
Puncher's chance against Joshua, just as he had a puncher's
chance. They've all
when I
trying to match up their styles in terms of their ability and things like that, and the attributes the guys have got, that each fighters have got. Then for me, AJ beats any of them. But the same again can be said for Fury because they both have very similar attributes. It's just different how they operate and do it.
Yeah. So that's
the only thing that AJ is the power. The movement I would probably give Fury.
Yeah.
So that was my whole point of asking that. This is why I don't look at resumes like that anyway. And we've already established between the three of us, you don't have anyone from his resume beating him, and I only have one person on his, and that's the base. So that's my whole point, and this is why I don't look at resumes and top 10s and things like that. That's what I'm just looking.
They can be broken down, but they are important because that's how you base where they get to where they are in the division. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if they don't fight anyone, how do you know if they're the best?
Well, you said you have Fury number 1, but AJ has a better resume.
Yeah, he does because he's fought the better fighters.
And I agree with that.
You can't put Fury number 1. You can't put Fury number 1 when he only has one belt, bro. You can't.
No, the reason why he's number 1 is because he's beat the top guy. Who people had Wilder at number 1, regardless of whether we agree or not. I don't think he was at the time, but that's who. That's where he was. In the rankings, that's where he was. AJ was second. Fury's beat him, so he has to be. So he has to be number 1, whether you're a Fury fan or not. So I'm not going to try and because I'm more AJ. I'm not saying Fury ain't number 1 because on paper that's what he is.
The only reason Wilder was number 1 above AJ was because he's got more wins because he's had more fights. That's the only reason why. It had nothing to do with anything.
And he's got the biggest belt. That's what it comes down to as well.
Fury, how many fights has Fury got now?
So wait, on the belt thing though. So okay, so all right, so Lindrix, when Fury had all the belts, did you have Fury above AJ?
He didn't have the WBC belt at the time.
No, he didn't have the WBC belt at the time. Like AJ.
And that's not fair. No. AJ is like.
No, I'm trying to gauge Lindrix's off it because Lindrix is saying it's based off who has more belts. So when Fury had more belts, surely you had Fury as number 1 is what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, of course, but then he let that go, innit?
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't base it off belts. I'm just gauging where it's at in it. That's all. Go on, continue. That's what I'm asking.
I also go off how they've collected those belts. See, for me, if one guy's got all the belts and you beat that one dude, for me, I'm like, okay, cool, you beat that one guy, but could you have gone and beaten every man that dude beat to win those belts?
Okay.
We've already established
hang on, under championship bout pressure.
Yes, we've already established that. Yes,
see what I'm saying?
We know that Fury beats that guy, but AJ beats the others on Fury's resume as well.
Yeah, he beats him like he beats Parker and Charles Martin and whoever else and Joe Parker and these man. Like, come on, this is what I'm saying, and like he does. Like I'm not seeing nothing.
Like I say, I think AJ beats Wilder, but obviously, if you're a fan of Wilder, you're going to defend that, innit? And I have no issue with that.
Yeah, here's the thing: if Joshua was to beat Wilder, that would impress me a lot because that's something I wouldn't expect you to do.
It would impress me more if he beat someone that can, because they all can punch. So I would be more impressed if he beats Fury than he beats Wilder, because I don't think it's anything to have on your resume if you beat a Wilder in terms of if you beat him the only way you can beat him. If you stand off Wilder, you ain't gonna beat him. You have to put him on as soon as you unless that guy learns to jab, he's easily beaten. There's nothing. When have you ever seen him knock anybody out coming on the back foot or in any other fashion other than them standing right there and he puts that jab out and then he throws the right hand?
But that comes down to key in terms of I've seen many boxers against him. Ortiz, we spoke about both fights, move for and beat him for 7-8 rounds or however long it is. I seen what's his face? What's the Far Eastern guy called? Oh, what's Speaker? I seen Speaker do it to him as well. Yeah, I seen Spilker do it. Spilker was impressive. Eventually, that's the whole point is eventually, can you do that for 12 rounds is highly important. Can you do that for 12 rounds? If Joshua
I don't think Joshua you don't need to do that for 12 rounds.
I'm saying he doesn't need to. I'm saying whether he all right, so let me put this out. If he fought Wilder and he stopped him one or two, outboxed him and beat him for 12 rounds, that would push him up. I'd be like, All right, you're bad.
He wouldn't try and box Wilder. He could outbox him, but he wouldn't choose to do that because it's too dangerous to do that for 12. That's why Fury got dropped off him, because you cannot do that against Wilder for 12 rounds. You cannot just box that guy. You have to push him onto the back. That's the only way you can beat him. If you stand and try and box, he will catch you in it. Like, he will catch you.
I think with that, so that's my point, is if no matter how he beat him, if AJ if they fought Wilder and he beat him, that would push him up in my estimation. I'd be like, rah, you better than I expected. Like, okay, you're better than I thought you was, I should say. You've gone up. I called this one wrong because I don't see you doing that. But I hope it actually happens, because I believe it'll be an entertaining fight, and it's much more. It has more variables to me personally than the Fury.
I don't think there's a fight out there. Even though I would personally like to see one more fight each.
I'll put it this way: I think after Fury beats Joshua, that's a logical fight.
Fury doesn't beat Joshua.
Now I'm saying it's a logical fight though. For the loser, whoever loses, that's a logical fight.
Yeah, but there will be a rematch clause though, so that's
gonna. All right, so say for instance someone loses both. Yeah, say someone loses both. Okay. Yeah, it's two. But so say someone loses both. Say for instance Fury loses both for the sake of this argument. Fury Wilder 3 makes sense. Same way if Joshua loses. Yo, say that again.
What if they win one each?
Then the trilogy. Whoever loses the trilogy.
So you go straight into 3 fights back to back straight away.
Oh, you the fam. If put it this way, so you don't think if Fury and Joshua?
I'm just asking you. I'm not saying we.
No. I'm gonna respond because I was just confused by the way you responded. Then in terms of, I think from a money perspective, you want it to be 1-1. If you're a money man, you know what I'm saying. You want it to be 1-1.
I was asking you the question.
I from a personal standpoint, I would love Joshua to win one and Fury to win one, so we get 3. I'd love it. I would love a trilogy between those 3. That'd be fire. I don't think a trilogy happens. So that means gonna be needed. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have no.
Regardless of what happens in it, so that's something we all need to know. Right, that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and anyway. Mm-hmm. And then obviously every champion has a rematch clause. So whoever loses, do you know what I'm saying? They'll just say, right, yeah, exercise the rematch clause. There's the second fight.
Yeah. And back to my original point, I think whoever, say for instance, whoever would lost the trilogy 2-1, I think they would. Then again, Wilder's still a logical option for whoever that loser is. Definitely a logical option. It's still a big fight.
He does in the meantime, because if they're going to have 2 fights back to back, that's nearly all of next year taken up. So what does he do in the meantime? Do you know what I'm saying? Does he just sit around and wait, or does he go and fight?
I think he just goes and knocks somebody out in it. Football, boxing, including myself.
Who would you like? You're a Wilder fan, then. Who would you like to see?
Dillian White. I'd like to see him fight Dillian White. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that fight.
I'd love to see 3 of them. That'd be great. 3 of them would be fantastic.
I want to see all them guys fight each other. You know what I'm saying? I want to see all fight each other. All them 4 guys, and throw Usyk in there.
Oh, I was going to say that. That's who I'd like to see Wilder fight also. Usyk. That's someone else.
So
White, Usyk. Who else is there? I'm trying to think. At the moment, they're the 2 that are in my mind. So I'll go with White or Usyk. I'd be over the moon with either of those. Because again, there's so many variables in any of those matchups. I like to see White Usyk. There's so many variables in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with it. There's so many variables, and all of them, man, like I said, minus Tyson. I'd like to throw Joshua in that mix as well. I'd love to see Joshua White too, Joshua Usyk.
That will happen. That will happen. I don't even need no belt that fight.
Joshua White too.
Yeah, I don't even need no belts on that line.
That's a logical fight for the winner or loser of any Joshua Fury thing. Winner or loser could easily take Dillian White, and that's a big fight. I'd love to see that. That'd be fantastic. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about not only finding out who's number 1, who's number 2, who's 3, 4, and 5. Where do you rank? Like, this is what I would.
I feel like they should do, like, they need to have another competition for like the heavyweights. You know, like they've got the super middleweights.
Super 6.
Yeah, they have. It's called the bridgerweight, isn't it? It's between cruiserweight and heavyweight. You not heard it?
They need to they need to have a competition.
Division. It's only the that's done it so far. The WBC. It's called the bridgerweight. It's basically like guys. So it's between cruiserweight and heavyweight. So it's all the guys that are like 15 and a half, 16 stone that struggle to make cruiserweight.
Yeah.
But they're not big heavyweights.
Right.
I'm saying so.
In that using both.
You could throw. This is how mad it is. So you could actually throw these type of guys in there: Usyk, Wilder, Parker, Povetkin, Lawrence Okolie.
Yeah.
All them guys are 15, 16 stone. You know what I'm saying? They're not like the bigger heavyweights.
Yeah, man.
But it's only the WBC that's rolled it out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Salute to everyone in the comments. Obviously, we missed comments because we was going back and forth, but that's what happens, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? We are boxing fans here, so our apologies on that. Like, you lot still got your comments off. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go back, and that's how you know when hopefully they do make AJ Fury for two reasons. So one, all this conversation ain't for nothing, and two, we can actually watch and sit down and find out who's the best. Because if they don't make this shit happen in 2021, I'm gonna be pissed off. You know what I'm saying? If they don't make this happen. This is the bouts everyone wants to see in that. So it's like, don't make with the package in terms of make us wait. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping they get it done. Ryan here says, I'd be buzzing to see an AJ. Yeah, I'm with it, yo. I'm with a trilogy. I'm trying to see that trilogy. I'm trying to see the Crawford Spence trilogy. I'm with them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see the best fight the best and see what go on. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, people. Love to everyone who's locked in. Like I said, if you're watching this live right now, you're watching this back, please make sure you hit the like button on the video. Share it across all your socials and subscribe to the channel. It's road to 2K on Sarcasm City TV. We're back tomorrow. Well, technically today now. Sunday anyway, we're back 7 p.m. the Sarcasm City podcast. And then following that at 8:30 is the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. So yeah, make sure you get locked into that. Beans, anything you want to add before we go?
No, I'm good, man.
Yo, Lindrix, same to you.
Yeah, man. AJ beats Fury, whatever pisses Flawless off. But I love you, Flawless. You're my guy. Beans, my homie. Make sure you tune into the Music Minded podcast on Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Go check out my EP out now. Get to Know You Part 1 on all streaming platforms. Make sure you check that out. And hit me up on all my social media at I am Lindrix Zayla. Also, I'm going to be doing some live performances on my Twitch account very, very soon. I'll keep you informed of that. Go check out my Instagram if you want to find out.
See, there you go, in it. So it's interesting. Like I said, the Fury AJ previews, recap shows are gonna be good in it. You know what I'm saying? Because someone gonna be wrong in that. Shout out JK as well. He did message me. I said his phone died, so that's why it wasn't on. But we'll be back probably next week. You know what I mean? Canelo Smith, obviously, it's Canelo Liam Smith, so we'll be doing you a preview and a recap of that fight also. And I think that's the final big bout of the year, and then obviously into 2021. So salute to everyone who's supporting. This has been the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show on Saturday.